Hi everybody, don't mind me. It is 60 degrees out in February, so I'm sitting in the leaves right beside this little creek. So today is going to be a Q&A video, and I'm so excited for this one. I've been meaning to do it. It's been a while, but I would like to do it, and I wrote down all the questions that you guys asked me on Instagram and YouTube. So without further ado, I'm going to get into it. First, I'll introduce myself. If you've never watched one of my videos, thanks for being here. My name's Miranda. I'm a holistic nutritionist and avid lover of life, fruit-based lifestyle, fitness, health, mental health, spirituality, basically all the above. So this is a Q&A, and I'm going to answer questions. That's what a Q&A is. Okay, so the first question was, what is my favorite exotic fruit, and how would you describe the taste? Exotic fruit, I mean, I love passion fruit because it's really odd, but it's very good, tart and slimy, kind of like big chia seeds in like a chia seed tart sour pudding, and it's really good, really amazing on top of watermelon or like papaya or something like that, something that's sweet, and then the passion fruit's really kind of tangy, so it goes really well together, and putting that in smoothies is really good with bananas and like mango. Number 2 is, what's your opinion on vegan protein and is it healthy? I mean, obviously if it's vegan, it's better than having dried up cow juice, but I personally wouldn't recommend it because it's really not a whole food. I mean, it can be if there's only one ingredient. I used to have pea protein, which I feel like is the best if you're going to have any of it, but I personally don't recommend that. I would rather just eat the whole food. It's better for digestion, and it's not going to leave you bloated because most of the time it's just a lot of protein at once, and we don't need excess amino acids because they just get stored in our gut. So I don't recommend it. If you want to have extra protein in like a smoothie, for example, I would honestly recommend ground up nuts, seeds, hemp seeds, chia seeds, almond flour, that sort of thing, accompanied with maybe some nut butter and maybe like a banana sort of smoothie. So that's what I recommend, and I don't recommend vegan protein powder at all. What's your opinion on hormonal birth control? I actually was on birth control for 6 years. It's insane because I went on birth control when I was 16 because I had really bad periods, and you know, for a while I was fine, but then, you know, after just a while, I thankfully didn't have a lot of I didn't have really any side effects, maybe irritability and stuff like that, but thankfully I didn't really have any of that. So I stopped taking birth control about 3.5 years ago, thankfully. It actually took a little bit for my body to adjust. So, you know, I was having like kind of not so great periods, even being fruit-based, because I was getting off of that pill because, you know, it just wrecks your hormones, and it's just not the best thing for long-term health. So I would recommend doing herbal supplements and teas and stuff like that if you want birth control, or practice abstinence. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to do that, but just look into like different sorts of herbs to do that. It's just better for your hormones, better for fertility in the long run, and it's better for everything, your organs and stuff. So yeah. What is my morning and night routine? This is kind of a loaded question for a Q&A, but in the morning I don't wash my face or anything like that. I just wake up and I have like water, and I try to have some sunshine in the morning. It's the best morning sun, and then I do journaling and have like water and stuff, and then I kind of get into my day. Really, it's not an excessive long morning routine, to be honest. I like to do my hair and brush it and braid it and get feeling like pretty for the day, you know, like do a little bit of makeup if I want to do that, and then get into my breakfast. Sometimes I have 2 breakfasts, but it depends on when I wake up and like how hungry I am when I wake up, because I'm not normally starving when I wake up because my body's just nourished. Okay, so, and then night routine, I definitely take a shower every night, most of the time, if not every night, every other night, and then I do my skincare, and I like to do my lymphatic massages. I also do abdominal massages in the morning for like 5-10 minutes or so. And then at nighttime, I like to do journaling as well. If I normally do journaling all the time in the morning, but sometimes I don't do it at night. But I like to do that, and I always have tea at night. It's like a routine, like a ritual. Herbal tea, like floral teas. A lot of the time is floral teas, or like mint tea or ginger tea, something relaxing, and it's going to help sleep, help digestion, help everything. So that's that. Flat belly. Do you have a flat belly until nighttime? I mean, after dinner, normally my stomach's a little distended because it's just full. But after a few hours, it's basically flat again. I have like two to four bowel movements a day. So that's pretty awesome. I'm grateful for that because I used to not have that great of digestion. So yeah, I mean, it's obviously the flattest when you wake up because you're somewhat dehydrated and your body did a lot of digesting at night. So it's definitely flat in the morning all the way to the afternoon. And sometimes after dinner, yeah, it's bigger. But before I go to bed, I always do my abdominal massages too. It's so nice. Most of the time I do them in the shower because it's relaxing and like the water acts as like a lubricant. So that is that. Oh, hold on. What about a vegan guy who lifts and he wants to be fruit-based? That's a great question. You have to just eat in a calorie surplus. That's what I actually do. Try to eat at least 200 to 500 extra calories a day. You can maybe up your fat intake. So normally I would do 80% carbs, 10% protein, 10% fat in the percentages of your calories. But if you want to gain extra weight, not extra weight, but if you want to gain muscle, gain weight, I would recommend eating in a surplus of 200 to 500 calories and then maybe upping your fat intake to 15 or 20% and keeping your protein at 10 because we don't need excess protein. It does build muscle, obviously, but carbohydrates are our primary source of energy. So it's going to have a better outcome when it comes to muscle growth, muscle definition, tone, and fat percentage, body fat percentage. So just eat a lot of fruit in the morning, hydrating fruit, and then in the afternoon have a very big, maybe smoothie bowl, a big fruit plate of like figs or mangoes or like a banana smoothie or banana ice cream with peanut butter, like some coconut flakes. So yeah, check out my my Instagram. I have a lot of different what I eat in a day is there too. What do you do if you have a head cold or a flu? Honestly, I don't get sick very much, but if I do feel something, I definitely have herbal teas like ginger, fennel, eat a lot of citrus fruits, a lot of kiwis, fruits that are very high in vitamin C. Berries are very high in antioxidants, and I do a lot of like steaming and stuff like that to help with lymphatic drainage and stuff. But I do a lot of tea or a lot of fruit, just staying hydrated, a lot of liquids, coconut water, and yeah, it's pretty simple. And I honestly don't change it that much because my immunity is basically pretty strong. So I just do more of what I'm currently doing. What do I do for fun? I do this. I make videos. I roller skate. I like to hula hoop. I like to write music. I like to sing music, play guitar. I like to paint. I like to hike. I like to spend time with my boyfriend and my family. I like to go thrift shopping. I like to sew. I like to make clothes. I like to watch movies with my family and my sister. And yeah, there's so much to do. I like to read and I like to research stuff and I like to cook. So there you go. Number 9, vegan cheese recipes. So I have maybe a few that I like to make is like sweet potato cashew cheese, or I like to roast or soak pumpkin seeds overnight and mix that with a little bit of vinegar, lemon juice, and a bunch of different seasonings, garlic powder, onion powder, that sort of thing. Pretty simple. Let's see. I do a lot of like sweet potato, cashew, a little bit of nutritional yeast here and there. I don't have that a lot because it can kind of be a little bloating if you do too much, but adding a little bit is fine. Another vegan cheese recipe, that's basically it. Lemon juice and vinegar give it that tang, okay? Just make sure to be adding lemon juice and vinegar to whatever you make. I like to do apple cider vinegar or balsamic vinegar. Should I mix dates with nut butter? It bloats me. Actually, that's really okay to do. Just don't have an excess amount of fat. Just have like a little bit with it because, as you know, fruit digests faster than any other food. So, and it's high in carbohydrates and water, that's why. And like nut butters are higher in fat and lower in carbs, but still has some fiber. So as long as you're having enough of the hydrating foods during the morning time, and you're gonna have a little bit of dates and nut butter, and I love to do this. I like to put, maybe have like 6 dates that you pit and slice in the middle, put in like almond butter or peanut butter, and then top with some jelly or some fresh berries, and then sprinkle with chia seeds and coconut. It's kind of like a delicious like Snickers peanut butter and jelly sort of thing. It's really good, and it doesn't bloat me because I just don't have a lot. I just keep it low fat, but it's not gonna bloat you if you just don't eat it in excess, right? And I normally would have that for a snack. Like I wouldn't make that a meal necessarily. I like to add a little bit of organic peanut butter to my smoothies sometimes, but I only do like 2 tablespoons or something like that, which isn't that much, but it you know, the flavor is strong, so you don't need that much. If you had to describe God if you had to describe God to somebody who doesn't know God, just think about a loving energy that is forgiving, is understanding, is trusting, and an omniscient presence that loves you and created you and will never leave you. So I guess that's that. Why don't I eat more nuts? They're super healthy. And they are healthy. It's just we run on glucose, okay? So yeah, nuts are great. Seeds are fantastic. But our primary source of energy is not fat. That's our secondary source of energy, and it's a slower energy, okay? It takes more time and more of your body's energy to digest it. So I like to have more carbohydrates than I do fat, more fruit than I do nuts. I don't know. It's just something that I am really passionate about because I love nuts and stuff, but it's low in carbohydrates. You know, it doesn't actually fill you up, and it's low in water. And I mean, it can be higher in fiber, but in the long run, having a lot of nuts isn't going to satisfy you. Carbohydrates are the most satisfying thing because there's fiber intact, carbohydrates and glucose, or glucose and carbohydrates, and most of the time there's a lot of water. So that's the 3 big things that you need to feel satisfied, okay? Fiber, carbohydrates, and water. And nuts are low in most of those things. So I like to have just a little bit of nuts, and yeah, I keep it 10 to 15% of my daily calories from fat. And normally I get it from like fatty fruits like coconut, avocado, and nuts and seeds. So there you go. How do I start to view fruit as a meal and not just a snack? That's a really great question, because I think that a lot of society has to like moderate foods, and it's like, oh, like you can have a little bit of this and a little bit of that. No, you can have fruit in abundance, and it is a meal because it has all macronutrients in it, just a smaller percentage depending on what fruit you're eating. And it has all amino acids in it, so you're not going to be lacking in protein. It has fiber in it, so it's going to be satisfying. It has glucose in it, so it's going to be energizing and satisfying. And vitamins and minerals and phytonutrients like anthocyanins and beta carotene, which converts into vitamin A. There's just a plentiful amount of amazingness in fruit that can be a meal. And you don't have to just eat one fruit for a meal. You can have multiple fruits in the meal that are high in different micronutrients, right? Like if you have a banana bowl, like banana ice cream, right, that's really high in carbohydrates. Then you can have a little bit of nut butter, which is higher in fat, okay? What starches should I eat to feel satisfied? Let's say potatoes are my #1 recommendation, whether it be sweet potatoes or russet potatoes or yellow potatoes or red potatoes or purple potatoes. Potatoes are high in starch, high in vitamin C, actually high in fiber, and just high in a lot of different vitamins and minerals. And maybe secondary, I would do like maybe rice or quinoa, brown rice or wild rice, white rice, anything you want. White rice is higher in like protein and fiber, so if you want that, then there you go. And white rice is mostly high in carbohydrates, so you can you can pair different sorts of rice too. I would say corn is a good option, but I wouldn't have like a lot of it because like technically we can't really digest it that well. So it gives you energy, but it also kind of can slow digestion a bit. So I wouldn't like base your diet around corn, like starches. Quinoa is really good, barley is really good, buckwheat. I don't eat gluten, but if you do eat gluten, I would recommend like a sourdough sort of bread, very much whole grain, not like really highly processed and refined stuff that's kind of void of a lot of different nutrients that you should be getting in from fiber or in from starches. How do you deal with family gatherings, being offered food on holidays and stuff like that? It doesn't faze me anymore, but in the beginning I definitely when I first went vegetarian it was hard, but actually going vegan and stuff, I'm just like really passionate and strong-willed. I guess here I am tooting my own horn, but I feel like I am very strong in the way that I see myself and my goals and what I do and how I live, and most of my family know that. Most of my family don't even offer me things that is not vegan because they already know, because I make it a priority for people to know. And it's not like I go shove it in their face, you know, I inspire and I slowly add it into conversation. And a lot of my family members now have a lot of vegan friendly options. Like my aunt, she makes vegan soup, vegan like chili, and she has all these different things. She made an amazing stuffed peppers with black beans and a little bit of like rice and potatoes. It was so good, and I'm really happy that, you know, my family is very understanding and supportive, and yeah, and I'm thankful for that. But when it comes to family gatherings, I always bring stuff. I always prepare. So if you don't prepare to fail. Fail to prepare to fail. I always am prepared. I most of the time have a huge smoothie before I go anywhere, and then I just snack on things that are available, like different fruits, different veggies, and sorts of things like that. And I always bring something, like 1 or 2 items. I normally bring like a savory item and then like a sweet item, like a fruit bowl, sort of fruit salad, or I bring like a raw vegan sushi. I just try to expose my family and friends to this lifestyle, so they already know. They already know not to offer stuff to me, and I don't feel tempted. I don't feel tempted at all. So I hope that answered your question. Does your partner eat the same? He's vegan, but he definitely doesn't eat the same as me. He always has a big smoothie in the morning before he goes to work because I make it. And then I normally make him some sort of high carb lunch, like pasta or like couscous and stuff like that with veggies and fruit. So he does eat gluten and stuff, which is fine. That's what he loves. Or like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with like whole grain bread and stuff like that. Very simple sort of foods. And then we eat dinner together, like the sushi, like raw vegan sushi or raw tacos, like pasta and rice and fried rice and stuff. So I would say he eats very close to me, but definitely not 100%, because he likes some like the mock meat and the vegan protein stuff, and you know, and that's fine, it works for him, but I don't like it, you know, but I don't control the people around me, so yeah. All right, so what are my favorite YouTubers? To be honest, I don't really watch much YouTube, but I like to watch Dr. Michael Greger, and obviously Freely the Banana Girl, and I watch a lot of political stuff. I won't really dive into that. You could ask in the comments if you want. And some other vegan raw influencers, the Ital Eats, I love her, and obviously Fully Raw Christina once in a while, but lately not as much. And yeah, just kind of like a few people. So and I watch what's his face, the bald guy who does hair stuff, what's his name, Mr. Professor Blow Dryer or something. So good. Hair tips are so great. I've never gotten such amazing hair tips from a guy who has no hair, you know. What's my opinion on salt or sodium chloride? I mean, I personally don't use it, like iodine salt or anything like that. I mean, I think there are better sources of sodium, whether or not you can get it from whole plant foods or just sea salt. I like sea salt and a little bit of Himalayan salt here and there, but I don't really use it a lot. I get a lot of my sodium just from eating whole plant foods, right? Different sorts of veggies, nuts, and seeds, and even fruit. Like melons has sodium in it and stuff, and coconut water. But yeah, I mean, if you use it, it's fine. I just don't want to have it in excess because it can make your body hydrophilic, which is attracting water and can cause bloating and stuff like that. Not too pleasant. So if you're gonna have some sort of salt, I would recommend sea salt or Himalayan salt. So what's your opinion on the Zona Dart ED death? See, it's really sad because I don't even like to talk about this because there's no connection to the fruit-based abundant lifestyle, and a lot of people are just, you know, picking one person that claimed to be vegan, claimed to be eating fruit in abundance, and obviously wasn't. She was very much struggling mentally and emotionally, and it has nothing to do with fruit, right? So I would just honestly move on and let this woman rest in peace because she was obviously struggling, and you know, I hope her soul is resting because there was obviously a lot of mental turmoil going on and starving herself and stuff like that. But I won't really talk about that much because I just don't feel like it deserves our energy anymore. You know, she needs to rest in peace. That's all I gotta say. What is your favorite cooked recipe and your favorite raw recipe? Wow, my goodness, you are really challenging me. So I would say if I had to pick one cooked recipe, it would be my enoki mushroom vegan sushi. So I like to saute enoki mushrooms with some soy sauce and all that jazz and make it spicy with sriracha sauce, and then I do fresh red bell pepper, fresh cucumbers, avocados, and shredded carrots. And then I like to make my sushi rice, mix in a little bit of raw cane sugar and a little bit of sea salt, make it extra sticky, roll it up, and it's so good. Oh my gosh. And that's actually my Fruit is Fuel recipe book, that exact recipe that I make religiously, okay? At least once every 2 weeks I make this recipe. So I hope you give it a try. Look at the links down below. I also made a smoothie recipe ebook, 50 smoothies, okay? 50 smoothies and a bunch of information and a guide on how to become a smoothie boss, smoothie pro master, and how to live an abundant, high carb, low fat lifestyle. So check it out. And the last thing was a question about your bread recommendations. And as I said, I don't eat gluten, but if you want to do that, I would, what I like is, I used to get the Dave's bread. So good, a little more expensive, but if you can get them at like a discount grocery store, like Aldi has them sometimes, take a look, try to find that. Just definitely anything like 12 grain, whole grain, try to keep it like lower sodium than the amount of fiber. So like if the amount of sodium is higher than the fiber, don't get it. But if the amount of fiber is higher than the sodium, it's better. That's kind of how I would go about doing things. Or you can get the Ezekiel's bread. I think it's mostly vegan. My cousin, a lot of them are gluten-free, so they like to have the Ezekiel's bread. And then you can also make it yourself. You can make really good gluten-free breads or like sourdough bread at home. Fermentation might actually be better on the gut, like digesting, and feed your good gut flora. All right, so that's kind of all the questions, and thanks so much for watching. So if you guys have any more questions like that I didn't answer, or you want me to expand on an answer, just comment down below. I would love to start a conversation and keep it going. And maybe you can also add more questions for the next Q&A so I can write them down again, because I don't know, I love writing stuff down. I'm just an old soul, you know what I mean? All right, so I got my skates on and I'm gonna go skate back to my car, and then I'm gonna upload this video later. But I'm really hungry. It's like almost dinner time. So I think I'm gonna make I have some leftover rice and veggies, so I think I'm gonna make a little stir fry and maybe add in some chickpeas or something. We'll see, but I am a hungry girl. All right, well, thanks for watching so much again, and make sure to like this video if you want to see more, subscribe to my channel, and make sure to comment some more questions down below, because I want to hear from you, beautiful beings. Okay. Yeah. So wherever you are and whatever you're doing, please do it with love, do it with gratitude, and do it with intention. I will see you in my next video, hopefully. So yeah, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.